federal government has been tasked to do more than it is doing presently to address the burning issues of insecurity in the country. The advice came from the Nigerian Islamic Human Rights Organization, the Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC. In a statement on Wednesday by its director, Professor Ishaq Akintola, the group asked federal government to give the cattle rearing industry enough funds to buy land for the establishment of ranches, adding that federal government can ban open grazing after the bailout fund has been released. The statement reads, "The crisis between herders and farmers has generated severe tension over the years, and it has resulted in open clashes with loss of lives and properties in recent times. In our own view, the federal government still has some options open to it after the state government in the south rejected the ideas of ranches and ruga. In our own view, the state government who rejected the idea of donating land for ranches and ruga settlement did so because nobody was prepared to pay for such land, and federal government showed no intention to do so. It will be a horse of another color if herders and cow owners buy land across the country for grazing. It should be a private project and a business venture just like all other businesses. Meanwhile, herders and cow owners may not be willing, or they may lack the capacity to buy land for cattle grazing. As for the will, northern traditional leaders have a role to play in persuading herders and cow owners to change their mindset and become willing to operate ranches. Concerning financial capacity, this is where federal government should come in. Federal government must be prepared to stoop in order to conquer. A huge bailout must be granted herders and cow owners to enable them buy land and set up ranches. A huge bailout, not just bailout, huge one at that. Well, such a bailout is not new, and the herders and farmers conundrum necessitates it. After all, banks, airlines, private vehicle producing companies, petroleum importers, and even farmers have received subsidies, bailouts, and waivers in the past. It is now the turn of herders and cow owners, and the time to do it is now. Well, farmers who toil day and night to produce food and cash crops cannot be blamed for complaining about herders who bring cows overnight to destroy their crops. Worse still, the crimes being committed by some of the herders cannot be tolerated by any community in the country, and that is why all communities in the country are at war with herders, including those in Kaduna, Gombe, Niger, and so on. But this is because Nigeria still relies on analog grazing in a digital world. It is high time we realize that open grazing and driving cattle on the road is anachronistic and counterproductive. Farmers need a peaceful environment and a guarantee of security for both their crops and their persons in order to be productive. So, after studying the problem over time, Murik has come to the conclusion that the conflict between herders and farmers is neither religious nor ethnic. This is because the same herdsmen causing mayhem in Katsina, Sokoto, Niger, and Zamfara states are the ones creating panic in Enugu, Oyo, Ogun, and Ebonyi. Farms are in disarray all over, farmers are in disarray all over the country due to the lawlessness of herdsmen. For example, herders who destroy farms in Zamfara are northerners. It is also generally assuming that they are Muslims. Zamfara hunters and vigilante men who protect the farmers and chase the herders are also northerners and Muslims as well. Bandits in Sokoto are also northerners, while the local guards organized to keep the bandits at bay are also northerners. Therefore, there is no ethnic or religious factor in this ongoing herders and farmers crisis. It is neither Fulanization nor Islamization. It is an economic security problem, pure and simple. This has enabled Murik to come to the conclusion that it is no religious or ethnic sentiment and should be built around the herders and farmers clash, whether in Oyo, Ekiti, or Ondo. The reason Lagos has been spared to a large extent is the fact that it is not an agricultural state. The Lagos situation may also be may have been responsible for our earlier assumption that ethnicity and religious sentiment were at play in the herders and farmers gagma. This perspective has changed after feedbacks came from our branches in both the north and southern states. Therefore, our message to Miyetti Allah is this: the governments and people of the Southwest, South-South and Southeast are not just trying to start any quarrel with you or with your cows. No farmer can be happy with those who lead cows to destroy his crops. Miyetti Allah must take responsibility, show good leadership by reorganizing your member into cooperatives and ask federal governments for bailout to buy huge portions of land where they can set up ranches and graze freely. Herders and cow owners can come together to purchase acres of land wherever they desire. You cannot expect farmers, whether in Katsina, Sokoto, Igangan or Ondo, to hold the horns while your herdsmen milk the cows. It breaches the law of natural justice. Okay? Law of natural justice. The problems on ground can be resolved if federal government shows willingness to give bailout funds to herders and cow owners. State governors should also spend part of their security votes on the project. Any issue that constitutes security threat qualifies for a share of the security votes. Unfortunately, our governors heap the whole blame on the presidency as if they have no business solving security problems in their states. State governors can summon representatives of Miyetti Allah in their state and discuss the possibility of bailout funds or loans from the state to purchase huge chunks of land. Such land can be used for ranching. The readiness of each state to respond to this call will be a reflection of the level of the governor's patriotism and his desire for peace within his territory. Even local governments can participate in the projects. Philanthropists and business tycoons are not left out of the option, as it offers a good prospect of huge profits. Once this is done, farmers in food basket areas of the north will settle peacefully in their farms, and the hostility between indigenous and northern communities in the south will become a thing of the past. There will be bumper harvests and the prices of foodstuff will come down. Security networks like Amotekun, which have been set up in the south to complement the police, will be able to concentrate on real crimes like kidnapping and armed robbery. Finally, we urge federal government to embrace this idea of bailout for herders and cow owners to buy land for ranches. This will drastically reduce the incidence of clashes between herders and farmers. It will also reduce crime by exposing the real criminals among the herders, because it will be easy for security agents to distinguish between genuine herders, rapists and kidnappers. Herders will tender their herds inside the established ranches, while those who roam about will be picked up. It will also be easy for federal government to ban open grazing once ranches have been set up. It is hoped that state governors will use part of their security votes to key into the idea. Okay, so guys, everybody, when you hear about Murik, you know that he's going to vomit some annoying words, but looking at what he said, it's making sense. Very is making sense. But at the end of the day, the two things I really want to pick from what he said, which is not really, I'm not aligning with the two things, are the first thing, talking about the money that they have, the bailout, before you can talk about banning open grazing, that they have to give them huge amounts of money, and telling the governors to bring out their security votes to do for the thing. As what? Then what will not happen? I don't know. He said it's a private business. And secondly, that being said, because he's trying to mention, that farmers were being given money to do this, they are giving them bailouts, they are giving them waiver or whatever. But the question is that, why is it that this is not and he made mention one thing that I see, like, is talking about that no farmer or farmers cannot allow people to just come into their farm and begin to eat up their crops, because these are their businesses as well. But the question is, these people, it is not the farmers that are looking for trouble, but these people are committing an offense. You are saying it is not an ethnic or religious whatever, but why is it that it is not difficult for the police to arrest them, or any even the soldiers to even arrest them? Because these guys they are as dangerous as a Boko Haram. Why is it that all this while they have not been arrested? Because if you commit an offense, you have to pay for that. And they are the ones carrying AK-47. Because I don't know what because he said a lot of things but the two things I just want to talk about is this issue of bailouts, until they give them a huge bailout before the government can talk about banning of open grazing. And again, why is it that these people cannot be arrested? Because they are the ones looking for trouble, because a farmer cannot go to them because they don't have anything in common that the farmer wants to go to them for. It is they themselves are the ones using the farmers' businesses to feed their cows. So why is it that the government cannot arrest them? Because it is a criminal offense. Criminal offense with all the things and the atrocities they have been committing. So no single one has been arrested or has been detected. So until that kind of a thing will be done, before if there's anything to be talked about, but they need to pay for all their sins. So I wouldn't want to bore you guys too much. Let's know what you think concerning what Murik has said with this their long thesis. Someone says, who gives Igbo fund to buy shops in Alaba markets? Government do this, government do that. That is why they are afraid of dividing. It's a private business and belongs to individual and not government. How many Igbo people were giving money to start up business in the north? This stupid Yoruba man is a Fulani master agent among the Yorubas. For someone private business, this Murik Nari beast of no nation. Come to think of who we sell land to criminals. Does this country belong to a particular set? How can this Fulani be dishing out orders as though they own Nigeria? Well, this man is just stupid person. He's just a stupid person. How can you, in your right senses, ask federal government to use taxpayers' money for someone personal business? Are you normal at all? Fulani slaves. So guys, let's hear your opinion concerning your own concerning what Murik has said.